Tips to help you choose a great niche market. Earning money online has become a trend, and more people have quit their day jobs so they can focus on their new money-making endeavor. You've probably read several stories on the web about how ordinary people have turned into millionaires in just a short time. It's good to be able to follow in their footsteps, but how exactly does a person earn a fortune online? The answer: find the right niche market. Niche market overview. First things first, what is a niche market? Unless you have been hiding in a cave somewhere for the last 10 years, then for sure, you have heard about the term niche market before. Essentially, it is a division of a mainstream market. It is a small market that addresses the needs of a specific group of people. One good example of a mainstream market would be cars. It is an overwhelmingly huge market, and there are dozens of auto companies selling many different car types and models in the US alone. But there are people who are only looking for SUVs, and if you create a website about SUVs, then you are likely to get more buyers than if you built a site about cars in general. 3 tips to keep in mind when choosing a niche market. Now that you already have an idea of what a niche market is and why it is better to tap one, the next step is for you to find a great niche market. Many people would probably tell you to choose a niche that you are passionate about, one that you are very familiar with, but while this may work for some people, it will not work for everyone. This is especially true now that a lot of niche markets are quite saturated, and the big players make it extremely difficult for newbies to earn a decent income from their sites. So, without keeping you in suspense any longer, here are some invaluable tips that you ought to follow if you want to succeed in the niche market. Tip 1: find a niche market that will enable you to target many different keywords. This means that the niche should have many topics that you can write articles on. The more keywords that it has, the more traffic you will get. Additionally, the more keywords you have, the more likely you will be able to build an authority site for your niche, and Google loves authority sites. Tip 2: choose an evergreen niche. There are many trending niches that you can choose from, and while it will be easier to get lots of traffic from them, they are not good long-term options. If you want to build an online business that will earn you money for many years, go for an evergreen niche. Tip 3: pick out a profitable niche. There are many unique niches out there, and if you can find one that has very little to no competition, then you're lucky. But before you spend all your money creating a website for this niche, do your homework and find out if there's a fortune to be made from it. If the competition is low and there's a high demand for this particular niche, then you've found yourself a gold mine. How to succeed in the niche market. There are young people who have become internet millionaires even before reaching the age of 30, and anybody who has made the decision to earn money online would certainly like to know what these guys did to become so filthy rich. Due to the vastness of the internet, there are so many ways for people to earn a decent income from it. You can build a website or websites to sell a product or service, or monetize it through affiliate marketing, AdSense, lead generation, or even by selling advertising space. Once you have plenty of traffic going into your site, then you could very well start earning money from it. If you want to become an internet marketer, it is best to focus your time and effort on a specific market. Studies show that niche marketing produces better results and is less costly compared to mass marketing. Think of it this way. If a customer were to buy a Gibson guitar, and he had to choose between a store that sells all kinds of electric guitars and another store that sells only Gibson guitars, then he will most likely go to the latter because it offers exactly what he is looking for. Undoubtedly, niche marketing has become one of the hottest money-making ideas today. But the thing is, becoming successful in niche marketing takes more than just realizing how effective it can be. Most of us know there's a fortune to be had in this kind of market, but the reason why most people never succeed in it is because they don't know the first and most crucial step in niche marketing, and that is choosing the right market. If you want to know how you can succeed in niche marketing, here are some strategies that you can follow. 1. Find the right niche. The key is to be able to choose a topic based on any or all of the following requirements. It should not have too many competing sites. It should be something you know or care about. It should have a good monetizing potential. 2. Once you have chosen your niche, exert effort in knowing what the market's needs are. Find out what your potential customers are looking for, and customize your site to meet their needs accordingly. 3. Strive to continuously improve. Testing your niche market will prove to be an invaluable strategy that will win you lots and lots of customers in the long run. Study your competitors' websites and the techniques they use to win customers. Compare them to your own marketing efforts and make the necessary changes so you can stand out. Niche marketing is extremely profitable, but only if you know the right strategies to use. You will probably make a few mistakes now that you are still starting up, but the key is to never give up. Find out what your customers need and develop ways to cater to these needs, and in no time, you too will succeed. Getting started with niche marketing, what you need to know. Niche marketing is a business model that focuses on a specific market. But just because it is smaller in size does not mean it is going to be very easy for you to earn money online. On the contrary, this type of business model is quite complex, and it would require a lot of time and effort on your part for it to be effective. But if you know how to make it work, you could stand to earn tens of thousands of dollars every month or more. Before you start researching about the best strategies to implement, it is important that you know the basics. You need to know how you can get started with niche marketing so you will have a solid foundation for your internet business. Step 1. Find a great niche. This is perhaps the single most important thing you need to do. If you don't have a great niche, then your chances of fulfilling your goal will be very slim. Conduct sufficient research on many different niches, and choose one that gets a lot of monthly searches but with very little competition. Step 2. Build a website for your niche. It does not have to be fancy, and if you don't have a lot of money to spend to hire someone to design your website, then you can do it on your own. A simple blogging platform like WordPress is perfectly fine. Step 3. Create interesting and informative content for your site. Content is what will drive people to your website, so make sure you do a great job at it. If you don't have a knack for writing articles, you can always outsource it. Step 4. Decide on how you want to monetize your site. If you opt for affiliate marketing, then choose products from Amazon, ClickBank, Commission Junction, and others that match your niche and have high marketability. Pay-per-click is also a good way to earn money in a niche market, and AdSense is an excellent choice for newbie internet marketers. Step 5. Work on search engine optimization. Participate in white-hat SEO techniques such as guest blogging and article marketing so you can get backlinks to your site. Aside from this, work on your keyword campaign and make sure your website is properly optimized too. There are many SEO techniques that work. The key here is to find the techniques that work for you, and once you have found them, rinse and repeat. Step 6. Promote your site through Twitter, Facebook, StumbleUpon, and other social media platforms. These social networks can drive massive traffic to your site. There you have it, 6 steps to building your niche empire. Success does not happen overnight, and you will soon realize that things will get more difficult and complicated as you go along. But this is part of the learning process, and you must not give up even when the going gets tough. Keep learning new things and acquiring new skills, and then apply them to your business. Eventually, all that hard work will pay off. Niche marketing, targeted and cost-effective. Any business owner knows that to succeed, it's important to look at the overall marketing strategy and how products and services eventually reach the right people. The world of consumers is a complicated one, especially these days when there are just too many options. A typical visit to any supermarket will expose you to so many brands on the shelves, all wanting to stand out and get a share of the consumer's basket. With the prevalence of online shopping, things are even more competitive and complicated. This is why marketers have been forced to rethink their strategies and really come up with ideas that will make an impact in the market. The cost issue. While companies really prioritize trying to find the right marketing strategy and capturing the attention and loyalty of target consumers, cost is always an issue when it comes to marketing campaigns. Some campaigns cost millions, especially if you're targeting the mainstream market. Imagine how much all those TV and radio commercials will cost, not to mention the billboards, the posters, and all the other promotions you can think of. Of course, everything that goes into making the product itself also costs money, research and development, packaging, and many others. Niche marketing is a good strategy because of how cost-effective it is. This means that it wouldn't cost you as much as it would cost to capture the mainstream market, but its effectiveness is right on the money. Why it works. Niche marketing is the most cost-effective solution because you will be able to focus on a specific target market. As a niche marketer, you really have to spend time understanding how this target market works, what appeals to them, how they make decisions, and how exactly they behave as consumers. Knowing all of these details will help you craft a strategy that's solely targeted towards this niche market. For example, if you find a target that's based on a particular demographic or ethnic group, such as the Asian market or the Hispanic market, then reaching these markets will require you to target very specific locations and strategies. Instead of putting out a radio commercial in all radio stations in the country, for instance, you just have to put out the radio commercial in the specific station that your chosen ethnic group tunes into regularly. Finding the right market. A big part of the success of niche marketing is choosing the right target market. Even if you're not employing the niche strategy, marketing is really about finding the right target market and understanding that market in order to serve it best. This applies to niche marketing especially, because once you find your niche you have to make sure that you really understand your consumers. Niche marketing is very specialized in the sense that you really need to craft your strategies specifically for that small audience, so you have to know your target consumers inside out. This makes it a bit challenging, but it's very rewarding as well. Niche marketing tips you need to know. With the variety of products and services that are available these days, the typical consumer can have a hard time deciding which one to choose. As a consumer, it's easy to get overwhelmed with everything that's thrown at you, whether these are the hundreds of products lining up the supermarket shelves or the many billboards and posters you encounter on a typical walk or drive to the city. Consumers are becoming more wary about advertisements as well, especially now that they're already more knowledgeable about how some marketers do it. With the increased intelligence and wariness of consumers, the best marketers have tried shifting their mainstream strategy into something that's more focused, direct, and sincere. Niche marketing has become the buzz in the consumer world for quite some time, and here are some of the best tips that marketers can employ. Don't be afraid to celebrate uniqueness. When it comes to niche marketing, uniqueness is something to be celebrated, instead of being feared. Normal marketing strategies look at the market and try to find the things that these subgroups have in common. They seed out the commonalities and try to form strategies based on these. This is why you have a TV commercial or a promo that can be blasted to a large audience. These marketing materials were crafted based on the common needs and desires of a particular target group. With niche marketing, uniqueness is celebrated, and the more defined a certain subgroup is, the better. To succeed in niche marketing, therefore, you should look at each differentiating factor as something that you can use to your advantage. Speak their language. It starts with not being afraid to speak to a certain niche market, but speaking to that market effectively is another story altogether. If you want to succeed in your strategies as a niche marketer, you have to know how to understand your target market best. You have to find out how they communicate and react to certain things, and you have to speak the same language that they speak. Even if you've already targeted the right niche market, if you don't communicate the way that they do, it will be very hard for you to reach out to them. For a niche marketing strategy to be effective, you have to be armed not only with the right message but also with the right way of sharing that message. Constantly innovate. Say you've managed to get the right tone of voice in the way you communicate to a particular niche. It doesn't end there. Marketing exists to drive goodwill, as much as profits, so you have to ensure that your marketing strategies are sustainable. This means you have to recognize that yes, your strategy may be applicable at the moment, but the world changes ever so rapidly and you have to constantly innovate in order to keep your consumers interested. Innovation is the key to sustainability, and even when you're targeting a specific niche market, this is just as applicable. An easy guide to help you find the perfect niche market. Get-rich-quick schemes are just that, schemes. You can't expect to start earning tens of thousands of dollars within a couple of weeks by simply buying an ebook that a lot of self-proclaimed internet marketing gurus say will earn you a fortune overnight. Earning your place on the internet takes time and effort because there are no shortcuts to success, and if you want to make it big online, you have to be willing to go through the hardships until you discover your very own gold mine. One of the best money-making methods used by many successful individuals is niche marketing, and when you have discovered the perfect topic, then you can build a website around it that will either directly sell products, services, or promote them. Niche marketing has made a lot of people rich, simply because it offers high conversion rates and thus give you higher returns on your investment. So, if you are still trying to figure out what the perfect niche for you would be, then this very simple niche selection guide will be able to help you. The first step is to make a list of at least 5 topics. These topics could be any random things that come out of your head. For example, dog, kitchen, cell phone, bed, and children. Then, using a keyword analysis tool, type these words in the search box one at a time. The topics we've chosen above are too broad, so we want to be able to break them down into smaller topics, and these are what are referred to as niches. With the help of a keyword analysis tool like Google AdWords Keyword Tool, for example, you will get the following terms for the dog topic: dog breeds, dog grooming, dog supplies, dog training. These are still quite broad topics to be considered a niche, though if you want to build a big authority website, then it might be all right to go for any of them. However, if you want a more targeted niche, you can continue to dig deeper into each of these topics. So, if you are interested in dog training, then do a keyword search on it. You will likely get the following topics: Acoma dog training, adult dog training, adult dog potty training, aggressive dog behavior training, and so on. If you think any of the topics on this list appeals to you based on factors such as high monthly search volume and low competition, then you can proceed to find a list of keywords for this niche that you can create content on. You should choose a niche that has a large list of keywords or related keywords so that you can build more content for your site. The bigger your site, the better. When you have chosen your niche, the next step is to start building your website and deciding on how you intend to monetize it. Succeeding in niche marketing, know what it takes. When it comes to marketing, many people think that the best strategy to employ is to go where the rest of the world goes and fight it out until the end. There are a lot of marketing trends that come and go, and the popularity of certain products and services tend to rise and fall occasionally as well. Some people even think that to be successful in marketing, you have to find a way to capture the biggest share of the market possible. By targeting a wide audience, they think that this will lead to more sales and more successes. While there's nothing intrinsically wrong with that strategy, the problem is, the wider the audience you target, the more competitors you will get. Your role is to shift the consumer's focus and preferences towards you, but this isn't always so easy to do, and this is where niche marketing comes in. Targeting the best prospects. Niche marketing recognizes that a big part of succeeding in any marketing strategy is choosing the right target. Niche marketing focuses on a very specialized section of a wider consumer base, and this means their needs and preferences are a lot more defined and concrete. Niche marketing is all about targeting the best prospects that you can serve, and the strategies it uses are very specialized. To succeed in this venue, you really have to do your market research and find out what your targeted niche wants. Market research is of utmost importance here, because you can't come up with the right strategy if you don't understand your target market fully. On the other hand, if you have a full understanding of how your target market behaves, it will be easier to address their needs. Focused spending. The success of niche marketing lies on its cost effectiveness. When companies look at how much they're spending for marketing strategies and campaigns, they also look at how effective these campaigns are and whether or not the money they spent on them is actually worth it. With niche marketing, it's easier to do focused spending because it will be easier for the company to pick a particular focus and stick there. Because the target market tends to be smaller and more defined, you don't spend a huge marketing budget on something you can't define specifically. This means that even if you have a limited budget, since you can target it properly, success will be a lot easier to reach. Sustainability. The last thing you have to remember when you truly want to succeed in niche marketing is the fact that you have to ensure your efforts are sustainable. All marketing efforts tend to be based on what the current trends are and what the target market is thinking of at the moment. However, when you want every cent you spend to be truly worth it, you also have to keep reviewing your marketing strategies and how your target market is taking these strategies right now. You don't want your target market to be saturated either, so you have to constantly spice things up a little. How to serve the needs of your target market. Any marketing guru will tell you that choosing the right target market is one of the most important aspects of marketing. Before you even think of how effective your campaigns and slogans will be, before you even think about how much you should spend on above the line or even below the line tactics, you have to first ensure that you have the right target market in mind. All of your marketing strategies won't count for much if you don't have the right target market, because choosing and understanding your target market is where it all begins. Making sure you have the right target market is of even more importance when you choose to employ niche marketing. A niche marketing strategy relies heavily on the unique characteristics of a specific target market, and this is why you should make sure it's properly defined. Options in niche marketing. To choose the right target market when it comes to niche marketing, you have several options. Choosing based on demographics. Demographics are perhaps the easiest things to look at when pinpointing a particular market to serve. You can narrow down the age group to something very specific, or you can even base your strategies on something like ethnicity, location, and even gender. Choosing based on lifestyle. Another option that a lot of people look into these days is lifestyle. There are so many differences in lifestyle that marketers can tap, and choosing a group based on lifestyle is something that a lot of niche marketers have used over the years. For instance, you can look at what hobbies they're fond of doing in their free time. What motivates their decisions? What are their dreams and goals in life? These are the questions that will be very useful in finding the right niche, and having a thorough understanding of these things will help you craft the right strategy. Choosing based on attitude and personality. The attitudes and personalities of people can also be used to identify certain niche markets. People differ in their personalities a lot, and this is actually a very interesting way to segment a market. Choosing based on technology. You can also ask questions that are based on technology, because this will help you identify their traits. For instance, it's probably worth asking whether or not they are receptive to online channels. What kind of media channels do they respond to best? Do they go on the internet often? Serving the needs of your target market. Once you've chosen your target market, a very important thing to do is to keep them interested. You need to understand the needs of this target market fully in order to serve those needs best. Even if you already have a defined target market, your market research shouldn't end there. This means that you have to keep yourself informed about what your target market is doing and what their current situation is. When things change, you also have to respond accordingly and change your strategies to go with the times. Understanding why niche marketing could be the best solution. Marketing is a very important tool that companies use in order to reach their target audience in the best way possible. There are many ways to engage a target audience, but the tools and methods used in marketing are very important in this regard. When faced with a lot of competition for the attention of a certain target market, companies need to employ certain strategies that can capture this market. Niche marketing is one strategy that companies can employ, although it's something that doesn't necessarily apply at all times. The important thing here is to assess the situation and really review whether or not niche marketing is the best solution. Standing out from the clutter. To understand niche marketing better, it starts with looking at the motivation behind employing this strategy. In a world that's laden with competition, one of the most important goals of any marketer is really to stand out from the clutter and just capture the target market's attention. Since there are so many competitors all clamoring for the attention of the same target market, it's sometimes very difficult to create a strategy that's applicable to all. This is why finding a niche market is sometimes the best solution. For companies with minimal resources and for those that don't want the stress and the struggle of competing with a broader market, niche marketing is the best solution. Instead of going mainstream, sometimes the best solution is to assess all the opportunities for a target market and pick one to focus on. Finding a niche and sticking to it. Finding a niche and sticking to it is sometimes the best solution that marketers can employ. Going mainstream takes a lot of bullishness. You have to be willing to compete with all the other products and services that are already out there, and this is difficult to do, especially if you're new and your target market isn't even aware of you yet. This is when niche marketing becomes a winning strategy. With niche marketing, you break away from the mainstream and just find a niche that you can work on. To stick to it, you need to take note of their spending habits as well as the price range that they're willing to patronize. Focused marketing. The beauty of niche marketing is that it allows you to focus on your small place in the mainstream market. When you target the mainstream market, the tendency is that you really have to spend a lot of money when it comes to promos and marketing materials. To capture the mainstream, you have to be willing to compete with the biggest players in the market. On the other hand, focusing on a certain niche market allows you to attend to their specific needs better and will really get to meet those needs head on. Because the marketing here is much more focused, you don't even have to spend so much on your strategies for as long as you have the right niche. Top 5 most profitable niches. It's tough to decide on a niche, and many people would always tell you to choose one that you are genuinely interested about. While these people undoubtedly have good intentions, following your heart is not always the best move. You could be passionate about cleaning dog poop, for example, but is there a profitable market for it? Probably not. If you want to make a decent income online, you have to choose a niche market with a lot of earning potential. Once you have discovered it, put your heart in it, and the money will soon follow. If you are new to internet marketing, then knowing what the most profitable niches are would certainly help you make a good decision when it comes to choosing the market you are going to tap. There are so many possible niches you could choose from, and as a newbie, you might be overwhelmed with all the choices available. Getting an idea on which markets are very lucrative can give you a head start in your new endeavor. Here are the top 5 most profitable markets right now. 1. Insurance. The insurance niche is the most profitable today. There is a high demand for insurance products, and insurance companies would pay top dollar for every single click. 2. Attorney, lawyer. Attorneys offering their services online face a very stiff competition, and in order to bring in more clients, they invest a lot of money in advertising. 3. Finance, debt. Many people go to the internet to apply for loans or get information on how to get out of debt. This market is huge, and tapping a segment of it, loan, debt help, mortgage, etc., is an excellent idea. 4. Employment. Every day, countless people go online to search for jobs. If you have a website that can help people find employment, then you're off to a great start. 5. Relationships. One of the most important aspects of people's lives are the relationships they keep, and a niche on dating, marriage, or family is certainly very profitable considering the money people are willing to spend to make their relationships work. Take note, however, that because these are highly profitable niches, you might have to deal with very stiff competition if you tap into any one of them. There are lots of big players in these niches, so be prepared for a hard battle ahead. It would help if you dig deeper into these topics using a keyword analysis tool so that you can find keywords with significantly lesser competition, because you will fare better in those keywords considering that you still have to build a site and optimize it to get a good amount of organic traffic. It would be a mistake to fight against the top players who have already set up strong authority sites and also have the money to invest on them. Once you have acquired the necessary marketing skills, then by all means, challenge the big guys.